welcome to the garage. Thanks for joining me tonight. I'm going to build an Adirondack chair. I hope to build a few of them to replace some of them that we bought over the years. You know, those prefab ones come in a box. Looks all great because they're pre-cut, the holes are pre-drilled, come with all the hardware. Just put them together is what they say, right? Easy to install. Well, if you've ever done them, they're not as easy as what you'd hope. Second of all, my biggest complaint with them is after a few years, they end up, you're replacing boards that have rotted out. You're adding in screws, bracing, that kind of stuff. They're built kind of flimsy. So anyway, I put together some materials that I think are going to work pretty well. I think it's going to be stronger than what you would normally buy. I think it's going to be less expensive. In my opinion, I think it's even going to be easier to put together. If you ever bought anything at IKEA and put it together, you're going to know what I mean. So anyway, throw on some music, kick back, relax, and let's get to work. So we ended up buying decking pieces. They're skinnier ones. They're not the 6-inch decking, the 4-inch, which I think comes out to be 3.5. They say 5/4 thickness, comes out to be right about 1 inch. We are going to build the whole thing out of these, the legs, the seat, the back, everything, framing. So first step is going to be to cut 2 of these at 36 inches, which are going to be your sides for the back legs and the framing. I cut this right here. This is the 36-inch back leg. It's going to be sitting at an angle like this, and the seat is going to go across here. So I cut this at a 20-degree angle, and then right here is just a 90-degree. And take a look here. This is essentially how it's going to sit with the seat sheet. These are going to go across like here. There's going to be one down here. And then, as you can see, these spots that I marked, that's where these next pieces are going to be sitting. And you can see I have an angle marked here. It goes down and then it comes back up. That's going to be the contour of the seat. So, next step with this is to cut that angle out with the jigsaw. As far as that angle goes, it's just something that I kind of took a look and figured approximately what I would like to see there. I think it's just gonna be a personal preference. So anyway, we'll get that cut and see how it comes out. I've cut out the first side and see the front angle that I decided to do. You obviously can do whatever you want. I angled down here where the seat is, comes back up, and then goes all the way back to the very back, the bottom. Right here is where the ground will be. And I just smooth this out with a belt sander quick. Then I have copied it over, same pattern on the other side. And now I'm going to cut that out with the jigsaw. On the side braces and the uprights here, I ended up using bolts. I have 3/8-inch bolts and carriage bolts. You can see on the end, nice clean look. And I used a 3/8-inch bit and pounded them in so they're nice and tight. This thing is really sturdy. I also pre-drilled and countersunk all of the holes for the screws here. And when I put these seat ones on, I used a shim and got my spacing so it's nice and even all the way across. So now what I ended up doing for a cleaner look, I built that one so it's notched out here and made this one a little bit longer. So instead of 22 inches, these ones are 24s. You can see right here, just gives it a nice finished look. Again, those are pre-drilled and countersunk, so the screws should fit right in there and look nice and finished. The next step here was to start on the back. I cut 5 at 32 inches here. I was going to go 36, but being that there's, in 8-footers, you can get 3 32s rather than just 2 36s to conserve some wood. I decided to go 32s. I pre-drilled the holes, did the countersinking so that the screws will sit flush. And then I took a 22-incher and I cut out the contour with a jigsaw. So now I'm going to screw these into the back there. So just trying this out here, see how it's working out, and this is really sturdy. I'm loving this. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to tighten this up to the back, and it feels like it's a pretty good angle, so I'm happy with that. So what we did here is we took these 32-inchers. I had 5 of them. I have my curved piece right here, and while they're laying on the bench, I screwed the 5 into this curved piece. Centered them, spaced them out nice and everything. Then I took that curved piece and just screwed it in to these legs right here. So the next step now is to tighten up this back and provide something for the arm. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of these pieces here. I'm going to screw it in from the bottom down here once it's all cut and everything. But anyway, I want to get this angle so it's straight across. I know some will have a little bit of a dip down here. I want to actually go straight across on this. See how that works out. And to do that, we have 22 inches here. I'm going to actually go up 21 inches. I'm going to mark it at 21, and then I'm going to do that same angle so it goes straight across here. And of course, that'll actually be down here at 21. But the reason I'm doing 21 is there's another one of these curved pieces that I cut with the same contour. That's actually going to go across the top of this one and around the back so that these will get screwed into. So then on top of that, we'll be able to run our arm from here out to here. We are at a point now, figured this out. What I did is, you can see that this is angled a little bit. Hope you can see that. Anyway, it's not necessary, but I just wanted to get it in there since these come in at an angle. So I put it on the table saw and just shave that down. The other thing that I did is on this, because I want this to sit flat and then have these backers go right into here at the right angle. So if you can see this, I ended up putting this on the belt sander after I cut it out to get that angle. So maybe not necessary, but something that I just wanted to do to get that flush mount. So now when this sits on here, that will go in and be at that proper angle for screwing in. So anyway, I'm going to get those screwed in, and then I believe the next step will be our armrests. So I've decided to move on and do the back cut before I do the arms. So anyway, if you take a look here, I kind of came up with a quick design. I'm not sure if I'm going to round them more. We have another Adirondack chair that's more of an angle like this. It looks pretty good, but I think I'm going to cut them with the skill saw and then just see how it looks. And if I have to round them after, I can definitely do that. All right, quick rough cut on that. I'm not sure if I like it. I'm going to take a belt sander and just see what we can do to make that look a little better. Maybe I will go with a rounded all the way around the top. I use the belt sander to clean up the edges, round them a little bit. I think I'm going to work on it a little more. I'm not quite sure I like that shape exactly the way I want it anyway. So I'm going to do that a little bit, and then I'm going to put together the design on the armrests. Armrests are done, pretty basic pattern. Cut it out with the jigsaw, cleaned it up on the belt sander. Screwed in 2 screws right there and a couple more back here to hold the armrests in. A little bit of bummed because the countersink doesn't get a nice clean drill out, I guess you'd say, when working with wet treated wood. This stuff was pretty wet in some cases, so probably clean that up a little bit. And then the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go around with the belt sander and just kind of clean up some of these rough spots here and then round those edges out a little bit more. So anyway, it is all done. Been a pretty good project. Well, here I am enjoying my new chair, new Adirondack chair. Very strong, very sturdy. It's exactly what I was going for. Pretty comfortable, nice and wide. So cost, I figure was about 30 bucks is all. I bought enough materials and screws, bolts, everything to do 3 of them. And with tax, came out to be about 100 bucks, and that included some extra screws and other things that I didn't necessarily need for this build. So, anyway, thanks for joining me, and feel free to leave some comments, good, bad, whatever, and make sure you hit that like button.